live from Japan. It is Tuesday, July 10th, and this is Stark Raving Totals. Welcome to the segment where we talk about totals across the board in sports. And that's what we're going to do today. We got a couple plays here on the card. And this is actually a really, really tough card, I thought. Let me adjust this just a touch. And I'll tell you what I mean in just one second. So, World Cup, crazy. Got France beating Belgium. It just all sorts of action going on in the sporting world. We got baseball today. We got WNBA today. Um, it's just been just interesting sports week, I would say. But yeah, France beating Belgium. So check out Sportsbook Review, our YouTube channel, for all the information about World Cup picks and things of that nature. So because we have a lot of good content on that, so check that out. It's the biggest sporting event in the world. So you definitely want to tune in. SBRpicks.com, Sportsbook Review. That's our main webpage. I have that up, and there's a lot I want to talk about as far as the numbers and everything today and the matchups. This is one of those days I don't particularly like, but I do got a couple picks. I'm not getting crazy today. I just got two. Facebook page, got some cool stuff there. And this is Stark Raving Totals, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I know some of you have been asking me to jump into Jimmy and Pete's show, and we'll try and make that happen. Hopefully that'll come to fruition where I can come in and give a couple comments. But I have been jumping in on there as far as like typing in comments, and I did that the other day, and we had a winner with Kansas City, Minnesota under the total. So hopefully you guys jumped on that because we were 0-2 in our last segment, and I wasn't really feeling it the last segment anyways. And I'm not really feeling it today, to be honest. I mean, I got a couple plays here, but I might even drop these full transparent. I'm even drop these to half unit plays because I don't love either of them. And let me tell you why. Okay, first of all, let's look at today's slate of games. And I looked at all these. I mean, let's take a look, guys. Honestly, as far as the totals are concerned. So you have Hellickson versus Musgrove. That's at 9. How is that going to play out? Hellickson got lit up last game. Is he going to come back and throw really well? Musgrove's been okay for the year. The line came out at 9. It seems too much to me. Next game, you got De Los Santos versus Gagnon. Two guys I don't know. Who knows? Next one, you got Chassin, good pitcher from Milwaukee, versus Lopez, who just going to have like his third major league start. The line's at 8. Seems a little bit low. Lopez is at home. Who knows? Corbin, Anderson, got Colorado, big line at 11, although both guys have pitched decently well this year. Colorado, 11 seems right, but also seems like a little too much. You got Hill versus Lauer later on. That line's at 8. Hill has, his numbers are not particularly good. Neither is Lauer's, but the line's at 8. I think if any, that was one of the plays I was going to make, and it was going to be under the total, but the line has been pushed up. So that one I wasn't really sure. Then you got Quintana versus Cueto. Not really sure how that's going to roll out. But you look at all the matchups today, there's nothing really that jumps out at you and really gets you excited to go and make a play. Tanaka versus Kashner. Kashner's been great recently, and Tanaka, he has not. And so the line's 9.5, but Baltimore can't hit. I don't know how that's going to roll out. Gallardo versus Velasquez, that's the game I want to talk about. And then we continue on down. You got, Kennedy versus Sledgers. Sledgers was what, his second late major league start. He pitched well in his first one. Kennedy's coming back from the DL. I don't know how it's going to roll out. Oakland, you got Manaea versus Verlander. Two good major league pitchers. The line dropped from 8 to 7.5. Big V's shown the propensity to get hit a little bit. Not really sure how it's going to roll out. Then you got Romano versus Bauer. Bauer, who's pitched really well recently, versus Romano, who's been lit up all year. The line's gone from 9. Some places it's dropped to 8.5. But it hasn't really moved. It's just really hard. And they got Stroman versus Teheran. I mean, it's just really hard when you got these matchups today. I think odds makers are really dialed in on the lines. You got Stroman, who's got terrible numbers, and Teheran, who's much better than I think than his numbers are. It's gone from 9 to 8.5. A little bit of lean on the under on that one. And then later got my boy Mikolas, yeah, or Michaelis, who pitched for Tokyo last year. I saw him a lot. He's got a good curveball. And that line seems a little bit too much, but Cubby's numbers are terrible. You see what I'm saying? I think this day frustrates me, to be just full transparency, because there's not a lot of great matchups as far as the pitchers are concerned. There's no A+ guys going except for maybe Verlander. Richards is really good. Leak and Richards. I mean, Leak just pitched against the Angels. He gave up 9 hits in 4 innings. So the line's at 8.5. you got me. I don't know how it's going to roll out. So let's talk about the pick, and I'll get to your comments. You can see I'm a little frustrated today when it comes to baseball. I really like that play yesterday, though. That Duffy versus Barrios. We hit the under on that one. That was easy. I actually ended up taking the Dodgers on the over later as well. So I was 2-0 in baseball yesterday, which I needed because, as you guys know, it's been kind of bumpy the last week, which happened. Okay, so today's game, I'm not overthinking this. We got Gallardo versus Velasquez. Now, Gallardo, when he got acquired by Texas, his last 4 games, every single one of his games has gone over this number, gone over the 11. It's gone from 10.5 to 11. Now, I thought the game probably should have started at 11, but it makes sense for me. Odds makers you can't set the game at 13, even in Colorado. So it seems like averages wise, the 10.5 seems about right. Yesterday was a 5-0 affair. Texas did leave 9 guys on base. This is another one of those games. I think it's hard to predict, but for me, I'm just going to take a shot on the over. I'm not going. I'm going to do it for a unit. I think it's gone to 11, a little bit higher juice on the 11. Public right now is on the over, but I think they're right. I think this game's going to get stupid. Like I said, it was 5-0 yesterday. Texas left on 9 guys. Sorry, I digress. And Texas is hitting like their last 3 games are hitting just over 200. What are they hitting on the road right now? On the road, they're hitting 225. I mean, they're just not a good hitting team, but they get to face a guy, and they actually hit left-handers better than right-handers. They face a righty today in Velasquez, but they get to face a guy who's a spot starter, which should be good for them. His numbers are good this year, but Velasquez doesn't really start. He's a relief pitcher. So we'll take a shot on Texas to actually put up a few runs today. And Gallardo, with me, he's like Cashner with me, a guy who I just can't seem to predict right. Like he might come in and shove it today, which would be absolutely astounding, considering on the road this year he has a 9.75 ERA, 2.08 WHIP, 19 hits in 12 innings. I mean, Boston should be licking their chops. Um, Cheers, honestly, guys. There's no reason for Boston not to score 11 on their own. But I'm just not going to overthink it. I'm just going to go with the over. I thought the line probably should have came at 11. 10.5 looked a little bit wonky to me, but that's probably because Velasquez has decent numbers, and both teams kind of need to contribute to get to this. But Texas got blanked yesterday. They should be able to put up a few today. I'm going to take a shot here on over. Boston's a good hitting park. That's really it. I'm not going to overthink it. I thought all the rest of maybe if you're dialed in on one of these games today, please tell me why. I don't know how anybody today with this card, this is one of the tougher cards I've seen all year because there's so many variables, I think, in today's pitching matchups. So I'm putting a 1 unit play on the over with Boston, Texas, just because Boston can really hit, especially at home. And I think Texas bounces back from getting it shoved yesterday by Rodriguez, who's a really good major league pitcher. That's it. So I'm just not overthinking it. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple. So for 1 unit, that's going to be my play today in baseball. Okay. And let me make sure this is so you can tell I'm pretty frustrated. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys. You guys come in, you spend your time to come in and give a comment. So I want to be straight up with you. Like yesterday, I wish I had the show on yesterday because I could have told you a lot about why I really like Duffy and why I really like Barrios to pitch well. Excuse me. But unfortunately, it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so that's it. We're going Boston, Texas over the 11, but don't kill me if I'm wrong. Okay. Next one up. I'm going against every good instinct I have in the world on this game. So we have 2 WNBA games. I'm personally on the under right now with the Sparks and the Storm, and that looks like that's in play. That it should stay under. Where are we at on that? Yeah, that should stay under the total. So yay for me. It should, unless they go overtime. All right. 2 games going off later. We got Phoenix and Dallas. This is going to be a half unit play because I'm going against my instincts on this one, and that's the Phoenix and Dallas game. So everything that I see numbers wise is telling me to take the under. Okay, but I'm going to go opposite of that today because the line's been pushed and I don't get it, and it's 171 points, 172 some places. We'll say for the average, 171.5. Well, that's what I wrote down already. Good. I'm going to go over the 171.5 with Phoenix and Dallas for a half unit. I'll talk about the Las Vegas and Chicago Sky game. Actually, let's mention that one real quick. That got from 173.5 to 176. And that makes sense. Why? Because they went absolutely nuts bananas the first half of the matchup they just had a couple games ago. And then they scored nothing in the second half to stay under the total. That game could get crazy, but that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points, man. You're not going to see it. That's the highest number I think we've seen this year in the WNBA. And they could possibly get there. But I still think it's a lot of points. The pace should be phenomenal, but I'm going to lay off it. Okay, so Phoenix and Dallas. I'm going to take a shot here on the over 171.5. It's a lot of points, and I don't like that because because both these teams are good defensively. They're both good offensively and defensively. I mean, right now you have Dallas is allowing opponents just 41.7% shooting overall. Then you got Phoenix, they're allowing opponents just 41.3%. They're both good defensive teams. Phoenix is coming off a loss against Atlanta in which they didn't shoot particularly well. They lost 76-70. Atlanta's a good defensive team, and they were coming off a bad loss to Seattle, so they were a little bit feisty. Phoenix shot just 36.5% in that last game, but they got up 74 attempts. That's a lot. And so tonight we should see something like that, but they should be more successful on the scoring end because also along with their good shooting percentage or defensive shooting percentages, offensively they're both good as well. You got Phoenix shooting 45%, Dallas shooting 44%, but they average a lot of points. You got Dallas averaging, they're second in the league, 86.3 points per game, but that's a little bit skewed because they face some high tempo teams in which they put up a lot of points. Phoenix is going to be one of the better defensive teams they've played. But the line's gotten pushed and the public's a little bit on the over. And I know people want to take the over. It's comfortable, it's fun. And so I usually like to go against that, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to bite today. I'm going to go ahead and take the over. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Phoenix on the year, they're averaging 83 points per game. I think because they only scored 70 points versus Atlanta, they come out and they put up a lot of points tonight versus a Dallas team that likes to get up and down the floor. That's what they like to do. Now, a couple numbers thing that really bugged me with this one. So in the first matchup, I don't even need notes. I memorized all this. Okay, so in the first, I'll look right at you guys. In the first matchup, okay, they went to 164 points. The line came out about 160. That was their first matchup of the year. That was Dallas at Phoenix. Dallas lost. Okay, so they went over the total. So the next game was just recently where oddsmakers set the total at 168. But they went under the total. They actually went well under the total, scoring under 150 points, or around. It was like right around there, the final. I could double check it, but it was a low scoring affair. It was sorry, it was 75-72. That one I had to check. Sorry. In that game, neither team went particularly fast. Okay, but what I wanted to tell you guys of what I researched though was the line was interesting that it went to 168. Okay, but they went under with a 75-72 final. But here's the kicker. Now this line today, although they went under that total, the odds makers came out with 169.5. That bugs me a lot. That bugs me a lot. You can tell I'm kind of passionate about the card today because it really, really bugs me. It really bugs me. Okay. So all that being said, I'm going to take a shot here on over the total. In that last game, that 75-72 final, that 168 set by odds makers, they have 62 attempts, 66 attempts respectively. Not really fast. Both teams shot under 40%. But odds makers came out with 169.5 today. I thought that looked a little bit too high. That looked like an underplay. So for me at first, I'm thinking, well, that's a dumb line. But then I looked at the Sparks and the Storm. That was at 160.5. But the public was on the under. The public was right. I think the public's going to be right about this one. So right now, I have him at 171.5. Let's call it 172. Okay. If you get him at 172, I think that's an okay number because right now the line is being pushed, but it's kind of the juice is being changed as well. So I got like one line went to 171.5. It went to 172, but a little bit higher juice on the under, from 111 to 109. That's it. That's what I got. So I'm probably just going to put a half unit on this play. I'm going to wait and see where the line moves these next few hours. Bothersome. I want to take the under, but I'm going to go ahead and be a sucker and take the over. This is a game where I kind of have to go against my statistical analysis and just kind of go with what is going on with the line and where the line is going to go ahead and trump what I think is going to happen statistically. Now, I'm not always like that. Sometimes I'm just going to be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm right. This is dumb. I don't care what the public thinks. I'm not going to do that with this game. I'm going to go and take a shot here on the over. And if it stays under, then that's okay. That's just more for me to process to be better with the WNBA as the season continues. Okay. That's it. Sorry. I was really going off right there. Let's talk. Here we go. So we got Mark coming in saying, hi, Chuck. Good morning. Sema J, good morning. Mally Mal, what's up? Tough loss Sunday. I had over on that WNBA go. Okay. Good deal, man. Yeah, that's all good. I'm gonna win in the end. I had a really weird week. I had a good beginning of the week and I had a really bad end of the week. But I've kind of bounced back over the last couple days personally. And Japanese baseball, I got back on track. I was struggling there for a little bit. So it's the way it goes. You know, it goes up and down. But we want it to go up by the end of the day. Let's see. Somebody, Mr. Stark nailed it with the under. Yeah, I did. Thank you for mentioning that. I did mention that in Jimmy and Pete's show. I don't know if I'm going to jump in there today though. I'm liking Boston, Mally Mal. I'm liking Boston and Colorado over. Yeah, yeah, crazy numbers. And the St. Louis over, maybe. I think Michaelis is going to start getting touched up a little bit. He doesn't throw particularly hard, but he's got pretty good stuff. But once he gets scouted enough, I think he's going to get hit a little bit. Richard, nice call on Casey under. Thank you. Mally Mal, you're liking some overs today? Yeah. Under with the Stros 7.5. Yeah, me too, just a little bit. Lean on the over in the Yanks. I would take that game, but I can't take Cashner. He kills me. Mark, one of my double play picks was Angels over the 8.5. Richard's walk rate is terrible. And I just got a message. Sorry, one sec. Okay. Verlander has been struggling lately, but I like positive regression. Yeah. I mean, he's still Verlander. He should pitch well today. Chicago's not a great hitting team. White Sox, that is. Mally Mel opened at 10 yesterday, 10.5 today. Give me the over. So Santa coming in. Somebody new 5-4 Boston tonight. You might be right. Maybe it looks too good to be true. You might be right. Mark, what do you think about Cueto with his velocity drop coming off the DL? Fade until otherwise. I've never been big on Johnny Cueto. If you're getting some plus money value, I always say take plus money value if you like it, especially in Major League Baseball. Mally Mal, me too, under the 161. Yeah, we look okay for that one as long as it doesn't go overtime. Phoenix and Dallas. Phoenix probably get to 100 points. I hope so. I'm going to take the over. Sema J, I like the over on the Reds game because 13 of Romano's 18 starts have gone over the 8.5. Indians are second in runs per game. 20 of their last 38 home games going over. Yeah, Cleveland can hit. So can Cincinnati. But just Bauer's been really good. Bauer can be really tough, man. Let's see. Romano's been terrible in splits. Thank you, Mark. Sema J. Plus, Reds are averaging 6.47 runs per game over their last 21 games, and 14 of their last 17 games have gone over the 8.5. Those are very good statistics. Thank you. Osmanawan, airball attempts. Yeah, that could be WNBA. Mally Mal. That's my same logic on the Mercury. Mally Mal, they expect Phoenix to come out of the fight. Yeah, but they're a good defensive team. So I'm just going with the number on this one. Sema J, I'm thinking about the over on Mets game because of the line movement. Okay. Brian, only one goal in France game killed a lot of tickets. Yeah. Yeah, 1-0. Mally Mal, Sema J, talking to him. And let's continue on down as you guys are talking to each other. Sema J, Corbin is much better than Anderson, and Arizona has a much better bullpen. Okay. I need to stop saying okay. Pretty good matchup there. Brian, 5 parlays with me. Forgot to hedge it. Was out. Sorry. And Millhouse. Nice. Will you be at the IFBC? No, I'm not going to make it. I might make. I should be able to make it next year. Next year, honestly, I was thinking about making it this year, but I've already talked about that. I got a friend reunion that weekend in the Bay Area. It's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. Bringing my family. 7J, Mr. Stark, what do you think about the over on the White Sox game? Again with Cubby going, man, I just don't know what you're gonna get. I just don't know what you're gonna get. Honestly, I like Turtles. Red Sox money line play of the day for me. That's a I don't know. It's pretty big line, but yeah, I mean they should win for crying out loud. 3-1 yesterday for me. Good, Andrew. Just tuning in. Any thoughts on the Diamondbacks Rockies total of 11? I'm leaning on the under. Yeah, I would lean on the under. I like Corbin. I like kind of like Anderson too. It looks like too much to me. And 7J, I have so many leans today. Can you tell me what you think on the Cubs game? Yeah. Kind of like Quintana, man. Again, with Quintana going against Cueto, kind of like the under on that. I kind of like the under, but honestly, I'm not locked in on any of that. It's a tough day today. Tough day. So Trenton comes in. What's the play of the day? There is no play of the day. There's a couple plays I have, and that's it. So we're gonna wrap this up here, man. Let's check out this WNBA game real quick. Where are we at right now? 64-66. I hope it doesn't go overtime. If it does, it does. It's just the way sports goes sometimes. All right, so I got two plays here on the card, and that's it. I really talked a lot. I got two plays here on the card. None of them I particularly like. I'll be surprised if I go 2-0. I'm just not going to overthink today's card. One of those games where I analyzed it from every angle I possibly. Well, I analyzed the whole board. I did. Uh, was that English grammar proper? I'm speaking like Yoda. Um, I analyzed the whole board in Major League Baseball, and ultimately, I just went down to the game that just looks the simplest to take, and that's Boston, Texas over the 11. I see no reason why these teams cannot get there today. They should be able to put up a lot of runs. Texas got a good night's sleep last night in Boston, so they should be ready to go today. Score more than 0. And again, they left on 9 guys yesterday, so they should be able to knock a few of those in today versus a guy who doesn't really start. And Gallardo should get lit up. Maybe it ends up 3-1. Crazy. So I'm going to take a shot here and over. It's a little bit of a public play, but that's okay. Same thing with the Phoenix Dallas play in the WNBA, where it's gone from 169.5. It's now I got it at 172. I'm going to take the over 172. It's a lot of points. I don't particularly like it. I'm kind of going against my statistical analysis on this one and just playing the number. I don't always do that, but I am going to be for this game. So we'll see how it rolls out. In this game, most likely, I'm just going to put a half unit on it because I'm kind of going against my mind and my heart are going a little different on this one. And that last game, that Chicago Aces game, that could get to 200, that could go to 170. Right now it's like 175, 176, a lot of points. I'll probably lay off that game. That's a hard game to handicap, I think. They did go bananas, I will say, in their last game. So we'll see. We'll see. That's it for me. So I appreciate you guys coming in. We'll wrap this up. Let me just double check, make sure we got no final comments here. Okay, I think you guys are good to go. All right, I appreciate you guys coming in. Thanks a lot for the comments. Be sure to tune in to Jimmy and Pete's show coming up real soon. So for us today, I got 2 plays here on the card. In Major League Baseball, we got Boston, Texas. We're going over the 11. And then in WNBA, we're going Phoenix, Dallas. We're also going over the 172. So a couple overs today. You guys, best of luck on all your picks. I will catch you guys on Thursday for some more Stark Raving totals. Until then, I'll probably catch you on Jimmy and Pete's show with a couple comments. All right. Thanks for tuning in and take care, everybody. We'll talk soon.